Device Nation behind the booth here at Anser, talking to Paul Hoogervorst. I said it right.
You did.
Welcome to San Diego, sir.
Nice to meet you.
I am super excited about this product. I saw your sign before the place even opened, and I made a note. I've got to come by here and talk to you about this. I love clavicle pins. Tell us about what you're doing, what Anser is all about.
All right. Well, the Anser Clavicle Pin, it's a new concept, new implant to treat midshaft clavicle fractures, any type of midshaft clavicle fracture. And it's different from everything else that has been done or tried because it's the only implant that fully focuses towards or on secondary bone healing.
Right.
So the design is based on the premise that clavicle fractures do not need absolute stability, which is kind of interesting because all plates or Sonoma pins or Rockwood pins try to obtain that. It needs to be realigned and it needs to be kept at length until Mother Nature heals it. Right. And in order to do that, you need fixation on both sides of the fracture, right? And so that's what this implant does. It does bare minimum things to obtain the goal that we're set out to do, which is the fracture to heal. Now, the implant consists of 3 pieces. It has a base pin, right, with a blunt tip that allows the pin to follow the curvature of the clavicle. It bounces off. And it has this threaded part that creates friction, and that's your medial anchor point, because the pin wants to become straight while the pin wants to maintain straight while it's being pushed around the corner, right? Medial anchor point. Then on the lateral side, you can create your fixation and anchor point with this lateral fixation device, which is cannulated, so that slides across, and you can set your patient-specific length along this trajectory, 6 centimeters. So you can make it as short as this and as long as this. When you're happy with your length, you secure it with the end cap. And what it does, it just pushes those legs into the indentation. And now the trick is that it can't change length anymore, but all torsional forces that occur during healing will dissipate in the implant-implant interface. So there's no forces on the bone implant interface that would cause loss of reduction or loss of fixation, or torsional forces on the implant. And that's why we can keep it that thin and simple.
That makes so much sense to me. A surgeon told me 30 years ago, when there's an argument between the body and the implant, the body always wins. So when you put a stiff pin in there, the body's fighting that, right?
Correct.
And that can create some unwanted side effects, right?
Yeah, so the goal here is to work with Mother Nature.
Right.
Basically what we do is we turn a displaced midshaft clavicle fracture into a non-displaced midshaft clavicle fracture, which we know will heal, and it will heal in the proper orientation. Now the nice thing about it is that because it has fixation on both sides of the clavicle, both sides of the fracture, it's a bridging principle. It doesn't matter what happens in between. Right? So it could be a transverse fracture, a short oblique, it could be comminuted, segmental, it doesn't matter because it sets the length.
Love the instrument set.
Yep.
I literally spent 1 minute going over this with y'all, and I brought a rep over here a minute ago and detailed him on the entire procedure. I mean, it's that simple. Y'all have done a really good job with this.
Well, thank you. That's kind of you to say, and that's what we set out to do. Try to make it simple, and we want everybody to win, right? We want the patient to win with no big scars, low infection risks, early rehab, and low chance of hardware removal. We want the surgeon to win. Surgical times are much quicker than with a plate, right? Especially in those comminuted fractures. Instead of trying to piece everything together, you find your main lateral fragment, your main medial fragment, you bring it out to length, and that's all you need to do. So your surgery is significantly quicker. And then for the hospital system, they win too, right? Like this is a very low sterilization burden for them.
Well, Paul, we want Anser to win. I love the cosmesis angle of this. I'd much rather have a pin in me, not that I'm a shoulder model or anything, but having stitches, incision going across the front of my shoulder, especially as we go into summer. This thing makes so much sense on so many levels. We can get you a win with the Device Nation audience that may be thinking, hey, this would be a great door opener product for me to have in my bag. How can they learn more about Anser?
You can go to our website, anserimplants.com. Or you can send us an email at info@anserimplants.com.
This is a great product. I encourage everybody in the audience to check it out. I wish you guys great success out here in San Diego, sir.
Thank you so much. Awesome.